Look around and you will see how important visual forms are in communicating information. Visual forms communicate ideas as much by the way they look as by what they say, and often elicit strong emotional responses from viewers. Much of the information we receive is communicated to us not through words, but through visual images. Visual images come in an enormous variety of forms, as still images, paintings, photographs, and cartoons, and as moving images, such as television, movies, and stage plays. This lesson will build your viewing skills in two important ways. It will tell you what to look for when you study a visual image, helping you to identify the most important features, and it will also suggest some of the questions you can ask to uncover the hidden messages in the visuals you encounter. Viewing is the process of understanding the meaning of the visual images you see. There are two components to viewing. The first component involves understanding the message the visual is intended to communicate. To understand the message of a visual, you need to know something about the techniques and conventions that are associated with that particular medium. Photographs, paintings, television programs, films, advertisements, posters, stage plays, and even cartoons each have specific ways in which they produce meaning. The second component to viewing is thinking critically about visual images you see, so that you can be aware of the ways in which you are being influenced. Being critical doesn't necessarily mean being negative. It means that you should analyze and reflect on what you see. Your goal is to be an active rather than a passive viewer. The viewing process is similar to the reading and listening processes. To be a good viewer, you have to become involved with what you are seeing, ask questions, and make evaluations. There are 3 stages to viewing: before viewing, during viewing, and after viewing. One of the first steps you should take before viewing is to establish your purpose. It is just as important to think about the purpose the creator of the visual might have had in mind. Was the main intent to inform the viewer about something? To entertain? To criticize some aspect of human behavior? Or to persuade the viewer to buy something? Knowing the purpose behind the visual will help you later when you are evaluating its effectiveness. When you are preparing to view something, also take some time to activate your prior knowledge. Drawing on your knowledge and experience, you should then be able to make predictions about the visual. Your predictions might be based on what you know about the kind of visual you are viewing, what you can see at first glance, and what you learn from support text, captions, and titles. There are also a number of strategies you can use once you have begun to view the text. Many visuals have been specially created to evoke a specific idea or emotional reaction, sometimes for artistic purposes, and sometimes to manipulate you. Through questioning, you can monitor your comprehension and responses. Predicting is an equally important process during viewing. As you view, you should be confirming the predictions you made before viewing, and revising or replacing them as necessary. After viewing, there are many ways in which you can explore and express your ideas. Your personal responses are very important because the purpose of most media texts is to create an effect in the audience. Paintings, photographs, posters, and collages provide similar but different ways of representing the visual world. Some still images are regarded as precious works of art, and the originals may only be seen in museums or art galleries. Other still images, such as news photographs, are produced for mass circulation in newspapers and magazines, or on posters and billboards. In all forms, still images have the potential to communicate powerful messages almost instantly. Still images provide representations of reality. Some are realistic, imitating the way the world actually looks. Others provide imaginative interpretations of the world, so viewers can see something in a new way. Most still images are two-dimensional representations, in which an illusion of depth is provided through perspective. However, some collages and paintings incorporate layers or objects, which make them three-dimensional. All still images can be analyzed in terms of the same design elements, such as line, shape, and color. Different techniques, however, are associated with different kinds of still images. When critically viewing a still image, consider exploring its design elements by asking questions like, are there simple shapes that stand out? Are there strong lines that create definite borders? Does perspective make you feel that you could step into the picture? What are the predominant colors? Does color mirror reality, express emotion, create a mood? Are there bold patterns and textures? Are color, shape, size, and placement used to create emphasis? Does the work have a focal point? What shapes and lines guide the eye to this focal point? Are there background elements that support the central subject? What is the composition of the visual? Do elements on the left of the work balance elements on the right? Are colors and shapes balanced? Does the image appear static, or does it give an impression of energy and movement? Are some elements of the visual out of focus or lacking in detail? And perhaps for what purpose? Let's look at this image and practice thinking about its design elements as we view it. This painting shows a moment from a story of the legend of St. George. The lance and the cord both draw the eye to the focal point of the painting, the dragon's head. The heads of the three figures form the corners of a triangle. What other triangles do you see in the picture? Did you see a triangle in the cave entrance or in the wings of the dragon? What are the predominant colors? Notice that there's pink on the one side, gray on the other. Do these colors create a mood? Could they represent good and evil, love and hate? The artist balances the painting in many ways as well. For example, the horse rears up and the dragon stoops down. How else is the painting balanced? Did you notice a balance between land and sky? Between soft and hard? Between light and dark? The lines of the cave echo the folds of the maiden's clothing. What detail echoes St. George's armor? Perhaps the rocks and the water behind him? The rocks echo his armor, and the water echoes his horse. What gives this image movement? Notice the waves have energy, and the horse moving also suggests movement. When viewing visual text, remember to look critically to know what is the message saying, and how is it saying it, and why is it being communicated in this way. Remember, a picture really is worth 1,000 words.